method in the madness, really describing the journey of the Swachh Bharat mission. And for those of you who haven't read that, it will give you a very deep insight on why this mission actually worked and why the execution took off in the way that it did. But you just spoke to us about the phases of the mission, sir. Building out the infrastructure was phase one. Changing behavioral attitudes, behavioral change, of course, continues to be an ongoing exercise. What I want you to focus on now is, what is the plan as far as empowering sanitation workers, as far as elevating the position of sanitation workers in this ecosystem, providing them the dignity of labor? And secondly, now as CEO of Niti Aayog, are you going to focus much more on the inclusion of technology, low-cost innovation? What's the plan on that front?
Sure, Shireen. Excellent points, very important ones you have brought up. On sanitation workers, the importance and the focus on, eliminating the manual evacuation of excreta continues to be very high up on the policy agenda, on the implementation agenda. And a lot of steps have been taken both by the central government, but more importantly in many of the municipal corporations in India. So that's ongoing work in progress. But I think in terms of the dignity of sanitation workers, let's look at the phenomenal example led by the Prime Minister. If you remember during the Kumbh Mela in 2019, how the Prime Minister himself washed the feet of 5 sanitation workers at Allahabad. That was a huge signal at the highest level of office in India, the importance given to sanitation workers and the need to honor them and to make sure that they lead a dignified life. So I think it works on both fronts, and the government is working on both. Now, coming back to your question of the importance of innovation and going forward, and how do we scale up behavior change using technology? I think the use of technology, both in terms of actual technology by way of engineering solutions to sanitation, that's equally important, whether it's for solid waste management or it's for evacuation of waste. But also I think digital technology is being extensively used now across the board just to promote behavior change itself. Now, if you take mission lifestyle for the environment, how do you get people and use digital technology, whether it's using the MyGov platform or using social media, to get people to adopt climate and environment-friendly actions? So again, a lot of work on the digital front, on the technology front. So I think both by way of engineering technology, but also by way of digital technology, these are critical means to use to promote behavior change, particularly for Swachhata. So we did it with virtual classrooms during Swachh Bharat, the huge database in government recording the Swachhata app, and I think now it's going to be taken to a new level in Mission Life as well. So Swachh Bharat Mission Phase 2, Mission Life as well. Huge scope with the digital platforms India has built to build them and use them also for Swachhata.
Very well said, Param sir. I'm going to request you to please wait. I'm quickly going to ask Ravi and Saurabh to join us back, and let's have a quick chat on how private organizations or this private sector can contribute further. Reckitt Harpic has been doing a lot of work. They've been wanting to take this entire conversation of sanitation, clean toilets forward. More importantly, we want this aspect of no one left behind. So quickly, Ravi, what is it that you can do, whereas Param sir is setting up the benchmark for the way forward?
It's really interesting, and we have been working very closely with the Ministry of Jal Shakti. And in the past, like under the guidance of Param sir, we were able to create a lot of magic. Again, Saurabh was out of country for a while. He's back. And with full force, we are again on the mission on Swachhta and Paani. And leaving no one behind is one of the biggest agendas which we are driving. And there are huge investments, outflows, which are what we are promising. And one of the major things is behavior change needs to be sustained. So a big cadre is required at the grassroots levels. Like investment just in the state of Uttar Pradesh, like 10,000 sanitation women workers, creating them for the newer job opportunities in the space of sanitation itself. It's just a beginning, but we will take this agenda pan-India and the community movement.
कर रहे हैं, बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हैं, मतलब इससे क्या उनकी जान ले लोगे?
नहीं, पर इन्हें और करना होगा. What is it that 2-3 things we are saying, 5 calls to action from our viewers. We are asking them 5 चीजें जो हमें करनी है. तो 2 चीजें आप बताओ जो आपको लगता है आपको करना चाहिए.
No, 100%. I think just to begin with, I think HAPIC, which reaches around 100 million households in India, we take this not only as an obligation, but rather as a privilege to be actually being able to converse in sanitation and really make an impact today. To talk of those 2 things that you're talking about, I think first and foremost, I want to talk about things that I would want to do differentially as well. First thing is looking back. I mean, many a times when you go in, use the toilet and you just come out, you don't dare look back and take action. And that's the thing, at least when we were conversing about it, when we said sabki zimmedari hai, to zimmedari starts with us as well. And I think that's the integral part of it, is looking back, I think, is the first thing. And second is continuing to drive access. I think while we talk broadly in terms of infrastructure, but behavior change continues to be one of the bigger things that we need to impact. And thereby that's the thing we'll continue to do.
Very well said. Diya Mirza was with us, Param sir, and she made a very interesting observation. She said that there is a stigma as this is not my job. I am too elite to clean a toilet. But in your house, you're supposed to, it's about dignity and it's about doing your own work. Do you think that's a big challenge to overcome, even if we respect sanitation workers? But this whole mentality has to change, saying that ye toilet dhone ka kaam kisi aur ka hai. Someone who I feel is inferior to me. This is the mindset that needs to change, perhaps. Agree, disagree?
No, Anand, I agree. And in fact, Akshay joined us in entering a toilet pit. Part of the reason for that was to show that, to eliminate this whole myth and stigma around cleaning toilets. You can do it yourself. You can empty a pit. Anyone can do that. In fact, we need to clean our own toilets, like we do. And so therefore, but a lot more work needs to be done. It's not somebody else's job. It's simple, particularly if you use the simple twin pit toilet which Akshay promoted in the movie and demonstrated himself. That's something which needs to be done at home. And and it's also about getting out of the stigma and changing behavior. So in many ways that behavior change needs to happen at home, in addition to promoting behavior change for general swachhata. But still a long way to go and more effort needed, Anand.
But I actually just wanted to, just how you said, look back. I don't want to look back. That's what you said, right? But why is it that we have to go only for that कि हमारे घर वाले हमको सिखाएंगे? Why can't it be a part of school curriculum also? Why can't it be taught in school कि पूरे classroom को ले गए, toilet दिखाया, but after using the toilet you have to lift the lid or whatever it is and how to wash your hand. Practically हम नहीं सिखाते, सिर्फ मुझे पता है किताब के अंदर लिखा हुआ है, लेकिन कभी practically नहीं बताते. So I think this is one of the things which I want to put, कि why don't we start teaching the children? Why can't we have like a half an hour every week talking about your toilet habits, your toilet etiquettes? I think that would be, rather than just सारा का सारा काम घर वालों को ही दे दो कि parents सिखाएंगे. I think we should all share it together. That's what I feel.
No, I think you touch upon a very important topic, and I think in the next segment we'll talk about it. I think there's work that we're doing with Sesame Street, our partners here in this particular field, where we'll go to 1.75 million kids and actually talk about toilet etiquette for the first time. When we were kids, सबने hand washing के बारे में सुना है, nutrition के बारे में सुना है, but toilet is the key miss that nobody talks about, and I think this is the first step that we're taking in that direction.
See, that is why I made a movie also called Padman, where we talk about sanitary pad. So because these things, they all just miss it out, and I, as being an actor, I can just make movies on it. I know it is not a commercial movie, but...
No, but actually, that's a question that I wanted to ask you in light of what we just heard there from Mr. Iyer as well, that you decided to do this movie where typical Hindi film heroes are not shown as going into toilet pits or talking about menstrual health or menstrual hygiene. Did you worry while you were going through that process of putting these films together that the audience may not respond and react to you
To be honest, I got a lot of support from Mr. Iyer. A lot of support from him, and a lot of time I have even told him the whole script. He has made some changes. I am coming out with a little bit secret. He told me, Akshay, do this thing. The ending also was actually told to me by him.
Really?
Yeah.
But-
Param Iyer, so you're not just CEO of Niti Aayog, the mission director of
Shireen-
Swachh Bharat Mission, a tennis coach, you're also a scriptwriter, scriptwriter also.
Author plus go scriptwriter.
Shireen, I've got to let you in another little secret with Akshay. As he was making the movie, phenomenal movie, and really got to know him well, there was one funny part where in the script we were looking at it, there was a toilet scam. So I said, hey Akshay, wo to nikal do yaar, why do you have a toilet scam? It doesn't look good for the government. He said, Mr. Iyer, I need to have a scam, otherwise this movie is not going to sell.
But you have to.
but एक बात बताइए, एक्शन कुमार, खिलाड़ी कुमार, वहाँ से आपको किसी ने पूछा नहीं कि आप क्या टॉयलेट और सैनिटरी पैड्स पे पिक्चर बना रहे हो, क्या कर रहे हो?
अभी पूछते हैं ना, अभी पूछते हैं, why aren't you doing commercial cinema? Why aren't you doing? अब मुझे मजा आता है ये ऐसी फिल्में बनाने में, but I like it. I get so involved with it. आज 5 साल हो गए हैं टॉयलेट एक प्रेम कथा को आए हुए. I still feel like it is a part of me and I want to continue with it. I can just discontinue and just go and do something else. But I feel that this is a part of me, and Mr. Iyer has introduced me to it so well that I can't come out of it.
I can't forget January 2021, Param sir, I have to say that we never asked Akshay to walk those 15, 16 kilometers on live while we did the telethon. He said, I want to do it because I want to see how much of an effort the women of our country are taking when they have to go. And
But
they are
nothing
doing it
compared to that.
No, that's
What they do is, मैं तो AC में चल रहा था, वो तो मतलब नंगे पैर चलते हैं.
एफर्ट है ना, वो दिल से आता है ना, किसी के कहने पे नहीं आया ना, दिल से. अब यही आप कह रहे हैं कि बिहेवियरल चेंज चाहिए कि दिल से
कई लोगों ने ट्रोल किया.
उससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता सर, कहने वाले कहते रहेंगे, आप कर रहे हैं. That's what important. Sir, final question, Param sir, I want to ask you, we are calling for a call to action. We are asking all our viewers to tell us 5 things they believe that we need to do going forward. Mission Swachhata or Paani. 5 bullet points. So 1 or 2 from you. 2 Saurabh has shared. I'd like you to share.
Sure. Yeah, sure. I think just a couple of points also building on what all of you and Akshay have been saying. Let's take Swachhata, let's look at waste segregation at home. All the organic waste which comes out of our kitchen, why can't we just do simple segregation between dry and wet as everyone knows? A simple action which can be taken at home. And again, water usage, Mission Paani, how do you conserve water? When you're brushing your teeth, switch off the tap while you're brushing and just, switch on the tap to wash your brush and, to gargle. Simple actions like that can actually save water and also keep our environment clean.
Well, Mr. Iyer, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks very much. And do let us know when you actually decide to write your next script. And I'm assuming that Akshay Kumar is going to be playing a starring role in that movie when it's made. But
hint दे दिया ना कि अभी और बड़ा रोल करना है नीति आयोग में.
But thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate your time. And we wish you could have been here with us in person.
Thanks very much. Pleasure to join you.
Thank you very much. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us here. Akshay is, of course, going to continue. But